So today's topic we are going to discuss about inheritance, one of the OOPS concepts which is most important for us in writing Java programming. So let us see what is exactly inheritance and what it can do. What are the advantages of using inheritance and what are the different types of inheritance that are supported by Java programming language. Along with that, we will be examining the performance of super keyword. Okay, let us get into the topic. So inheritance is a mechanism where one object acquires all the properties of the other object. You can also say that the properties of superclass can be inherited into a subclass. As I told you, it is an important part of OOPS concept. The major idea behind the inheritance is that you can create new classes that can be built upon the existing classes. So the existing classes are nothing but superclasses. The new classes are called as subclasses, or we can call existing classes as parent classes. The new classes are also called as child classes. So what happens when you inherit the properties of existing class into a subclass? So when you inherit from an existing class, you can reuse the methods or the fields of the parent class. It means you can access the variables and methods which are part of parent class into the subclass. And moreover, you can also add new methods into your subclasses also, along with the parent class methods which are already available for us. Along with that, we can also write some more methods as part of subclasses. And inheritance represents is a relationship which is also known as parent-child relationship. Is a relationship is nothing but the properties are gathered from superclass to the subclass, parent to the child. So this is a relationship called as parent-child relationship. So this is about inheritance, some of the features of inheritance. So next, why we need to use inheritance? First of all, we need to understand inheritance purpose. First purpose is for method overriding. Method overriding is nothing but you can define a method with the same name and with same parameters. So this can be done at runtime. Okay, method overriding is at runtime possible things. So it is also called as runtime polymorphism. So what is compile time polymorphism? Compile time polymorphism is method overloading, whereas method overriding is part of runtime polymorphism. So polymorphism are of two types. First one is compile time, second one is runtime. As part of compile time, we will be discussing method overloading. As part of runtime polymorphism, we will be discussing about method overriding. And one more advantage of using inheritance is code reusability. It means that, see, as we are inheriting properties from existing class, it means that we are reusing the properties which are already available for us. That is what the main aim of the inheritance, that is code reusability. It means we are using the code which is already available for us. Based on the code, we can build new classes and new objects also. So let us continue with this. So let us see the syntax, general syntax of the inheritance, how we can inherit the properties. So let us use, while inheriting the properties of superclass to the subclass, first of all, we need to write class keyword followed by the subclass name, followed by a keyword called as extends. It is compulsory to write because unless extend keyword, we cannot inherit properties. So extend will be used for inheriting properties of superclass. So class keyword followed by subclass name followed by extend keyword followed by superclass name. So under subclass name you have something like this, methods and fields. These are the methods which are part of the subclass. Maybe they belongs to superclass also. Okay, subclass may contain the methods and fields of superclass as well as subclass has its own properties. So let us see what is extend keyword is indicating to you. It indicates that you are making a new class that derives from an existing class. Meaning of extend is to increase the functionality. Obviously, extending is nothing but we are adding some more thing to the existing one. Extension, we say. So subclass will be extended with the properties of superclass. So we are extending subclass with superclass. Next, this is the structure which we follow as part of inheritance, that is single inheritance. This is one of the types of inheritance, that is single inheritance, that is an employee class is inherited by the programmer class. So programmer may be an employee. Okay. See, employee class is a superclass. If we assume that employee class is a superclass, it contains a field called as salary, and programmer is a subclass which contains a field called as bonus. So both of them are different variables in different classes. See, as part of programmer, the salary variable is also available under programmer because it is part of superclass. The all properties which are part of the employee class that will be supplied to the programmer class. So this is what the main concept. Next, let us see an example regarding inheritance, a simple example. Say in this program, there are two classes are available for us, A and B. A is a superclass and B is a subclass. I'm repeating once again. A is a superclass, B is a subclass. So class A contains two variables, that is I comma j, which is of type int comma j, that is of type integer. And it also contains one method which will be displaying the values of I and j. Okay. Class A contains two variables I and j. Along with that, there is one method is also available in the superclass, that is ij. So the class will be closed. That is what the superclass contains. Next, coming to the subclass B. Class B extends A, in which it contains one more variable called as K. It is displaying the value of K also. As part of subclass, there are two methods are there. Try to understand this one. There are, as part of subclass, there are two methods. Okay, two methods are available for us. One method is show K, second method is sum. Along with these two methods, show ij is also available to the class B, but we are not displaying here. Okay, we are not displaying the contents of show ij. But the main property of inheritance is all the properties will be available to subclass. So along with K variable, show K method, sum method, class B also contains ij, show ij. All these properties are also available with the subclass. So let us come to the code. That is show K is displaying the value of K. Sum will be calculating the value of I plus j plus k. Okay. Let us come to the main part. Main part, that is the main execution part. So we are creating a superclass object, super ob equals to new of A, and we are creating one subclass object subob, that is sub object. So super ob dot I equals to 10, super ob dot j equals to 20. Then what is the contents of super object will be displayed by using a show ij method with the help of the object of superclass. So subclass has access to all the public members of the superclass. So sub ij and ijk, all the values have been given. So the contents of the subclass object will be displayed using show ij, show k, show. So you are trying to observe here, you are accessing a method through the subclass object, that is show ij is part of superclass, but you are accessing as part of subclass. Next, subclass object dot show k, it is part of subclass, you can directly access them, there is no problem. After that, after calculation of subclass object, all the values will be displayed. So this is what the simple example of the inheritance. Next, we try to observe here members access and inheritance. See, as I said, superclass properties are always available to the subclass, but here one restriction is there. Unless the superclass variables or methods are under public, they should be under public access specified, then only they can be available to the subclass. Until then, they cannot be available to the subclass. It means if the superclass is restricting the variables with private access specifier, then the subclass cannot access those members of the superclasses. Just now we have seen in the example int I comma j. So int I comma j are the variables and show ij are the method. So if they are private in nature, if they are privately specified, then the subclass called as B cannot access the I and j values and show ij method. So that is what the important point to be noted here. Although a subclass includes all of the members of its superclass, it cannot access those members of the superclass that have been declared as private. You can see here the example. Here there are two classes again. Class A and class B are available for us. Class A and class B. In class A we have int I, which is publicly by default. Next we are initiating declaring one more variable j, which is under private access specifying. So it contains one more method, that is void set ij int x int y. So I equals to x, j equals to y. That is a value of, they should be at the parameterized. Leave it. The concept we are trying to understand is private access specifier. So class B extends A. In this class, we have a total sum method. Here to try to observe here, total variable of subclass is trying to access a superclass variable I and j. I can be used by the subclass because it is under public scope. But whereas j, it is private, you cannot access a variable which is specified as private under superclass. So there will be an error. J is not accessible here. If it is public, then you can access it. So this is what happens with the inheriting restriction. So there is one kind of a restriction regarding inheritance, that they should not be under private. Okay, if they are in private, you cannot access them. If they are public, you can access. So inheritance, major importance look after that is public scope. So let us discuss one more important keyword which is part of inheritance, which we'll be using in mostly in inheritance, that is super keyword. So super keyword is similar to this keyword. As we discussed in the previous classes, this keyword represents the current object on which the class or the variables or methods are called. To represent the current object, we will be using this keyword. Similarly, super keyword, the functionality is same. The following are the scenarios where super keyword will be used. So super keyword, first of all, it will be used for the purpose of differentiating the members of superclass to the subclass members. When the members are of same name, try to understand this. When when super keyword is used means if superclass and subclass contains variables with the same name, to differentiate between them, super keyword is used. Whenever super dot some kind of a superclass variable is referenced, then it will be representing the superclass variable. So one of the purpose of super keyword is to differentiate the members. Either it may be methods or variables. Next purpose of super keyword is to invoke the superclass constructor from subclass. Okay. Second purpose is to invoke or to call a superclass constructor from the subclass. Okay. Let us see some of the examples regarding them. So differentiating members may be part of variables or methods. That is what I told you as just now. So this is regarding an example, members. So here we are trying to demonstrate differentiating members by using super keyword. We have a class A, class B. Class A is extended by class B. Class A contains a variable I. Class B contains a variable called as I. Same. So what happens here is there are two variables which are same, which have the same signature in the subclass and superclass. So if we are trying to access I variable of superclass, so it is different. It is difficult to understand which variable it is going to be accessed, whether it is subclass or superclass. So to access superclass I variable, you need to use a signature called as super.I equals to A. It means that you are initiating a variable of superclass. Then I equals to B, which is nothing but it is a variable which is belonging to the subclass B. Okay, it is clear, I think so. That is, if two variables or methods are same, if variables regarding members, we are discussing about members. If two variables of same signature are available in two different classes, if class subclass is extending, if one of the class is subclass, the other is a superclass, then what happens? To reference a superclass member, you have to use a super keyword. Okay, super keyword is compulsory while you are accessing a super keyword with the same. So this is what differentiating members. This is the main method through constructor. See, we don't have a constructor as part of superclass. We are not demonstrating that one. So let us see the second purpose, that is invoking superclass constructor. If a class is inheriting the properties of another class, the subclass automatically acquires the default constructor of the superclass. Yes, it is compulsory. All the properties which are there in the superclass, that will be inherited by the subclass. But if you want to call a parameterized constructor of the superclass, you need to use the super keyword. See, specifying default constructor is already available for us. If you want to refer to them, you have to use super keyword. Because the subclass may also contain a default constructor which belongs to the subclass. But whereas superclass constructor, you need to call them. You need to use super keyword. So let us see the example here. See, there is a class called as box is there, superclass, the subclass called as box weight. So if what we are trying to do here, there is one kind of a box weight constructor. It is a superclass, not, this is a subclass constructor through which we are assigning values to them. And you are trying to observe here, there is one more constructor is called here as part of subclass, that is super of WHD. It means that you are calling a constructor belonging to the box class. See, from this example, there are two classes have been demonstrated here. One is box, which is superclass. Box weight is a subclass. So according to box weight, there is one constructor is available for us. As part of box class, there is one kind of constructor is available for us, but we are not demonstrating with the name here. We are demonstrating with the super keyword, super of W comma H comma D. It means that you are referencing a superclass object, superclass constructor, superclass parameterized constructor. Okay. This is about inheritance. Okay. This is about inheritance and its properties and the accesses and examples. I think everyone understood this topic. If you have any doubts, please raise the questions, or else I will continue with the other topic. Those who didn't understand the topic, please raise the questions. Otherwise, I will continue with the other topic. So, according to the Java programming, I think no one has any questions. So, according to inheritance, there are different types of inheritances are also possible in Java. So, in Java, there are two types of inheritances are there. One is single inheritance, second one is multiple inheritance. So in the features of Java, we discussed that there is no multiple inheritance in Java, but they can be achieved by using the interfaces concept. So we will be discussing multiple inheritance as when it comes regarding interfaces. Okay, when we discuss about interfaces, we will be discussing about multiple inheritance. So we can also say that until now in Java we have only single inheritance. There is no multiple inheritance. Are there any doubts? Please respond. If you sit silent, there is no use. If you have any doubts, please raise the question. Or else I will continue with the other classes. This is this is the class not working with me. Who is this? Muhammad. So what about you, remaining students? See, if I go fast, then it will be finished within no time. Because I want to answer some of them. Let me ask you some questions then. So, what is polymorphism? What is polymorphism? Anyone can answer what is polymorphism, or else write in the chat box.
Having more than one function.
Having more function or more than one function. What do you mean by that one? You can directly say that function overloading or method overloading demonstrates polymorphism, because in method overloading you have a method name same for all the different functionalities. Yes or no? You can directly say that method overloading is one of the polymorphism types. Polymorphisms are of two types, as I told you in the previous slides itself. That is compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. So as part of compile time polymorphism, we will be discussing about method overloading. But whereas runtime polymorphism, overriding will be used. Okay. So next question. What is the speciality of super keyword? What is the speciality of super keyword? Try to respond. What is the speciality of super keyword? I want answers. Just now I told you what is the speciality of super keyword. So let me ask one more question. If I need to access a private number, private variable of superclass into subclass, try to understand this one. If I want to access a private variable in subclass, if private variable belongs to the superclass, how can I do that? If I want to access a private variable which is part of superclass in subclass, how to do that? I'm repeating once again. If I want to access a private variable of superclass into subclass, how can I do that? How you can do that? Then I will call names. If you are not answering, then I will call the names of the students. Roll number 24. Roll number 24. How can I access a private member of superclass into a subclass. Which mechanism I have to use? Make it fast. Roll number 24. Or else anybody, those who have answers, please answer the question. Shravani, roll number 26. Okay, okay, no one is responding with it. Okay, no one wants to respond with the answers. So it can be done by using protected access specifier. Protected access specifier. If you declare a variable as protected in a superclass, it can be accessed. It can be accessed within the subclass. That's it. It cannot be accessed outside other classes. If it is not a subclass of the superclass, you cannot access a private member outside of a class other than subclass. So we will be discussing much more about this protected specifier in the next class, and along with that we will be completing the second unit in the next class by discussing some of the topics, important topics. Don't miss tomorrow's class because we are going to discuss more important topics like abstract classes, interfaces, and packages all at once. So don't miss tomorrow's classes. Okay, thank you one and all.